It was a breezy morning in the little town of Willow Creek, where the sun rose gently over the rolling hills and birds sang above maple trees that lined the quiet streets. For Emily Carter, life in this small town was simple but fulfilling. She was a dedicated elementary school teacher known for her kindness and the way she treated every student as if they were her own. Emily had lived in Willow Creek her whole life. Her parents owned a local bookstore downtown, and after they passed away, she took it upon herself to keep their memory alive through her teaching. Her students often said she had a smile that could fix a bad day, and for Emily, that was the best compliment she could ever receive. She never imagined that her quiet life would soon cross paths with someone from an entirely different world, someone who had everything money could buy, but nothing that truly mattered. Miles Donovan was a self-made billionaire who built a successful technology company from scratch. His name often appeared in magazines, and he was known for his intelligence, drive, and sharp sense of business. Yet, behind the glitz of his world was a loneliness that no amount of money could erase. He lived in a sleek penthouse in New York City, surrounded by people but never truly seen. When Miles' company faced a small crisis involving a defective product that impacted a local school in Willow Creek, he decided to visit in person. It wasn't just about public image, he wanted to understand the issue himself. His PR team insisted he stay for just one day, but fate had other plans. Emily first met him in her classroom. She didn't know who he was, only that he was polite, curious, and seemed genuinely interested in how the school operated. He asked questions about the kids, the equipment, and the town itself. Unlike other wealthy visitors, he didn't treat anyone like a photo opportunity. When she learned he was the Miles Donovan, the billionaire whose company had donated the faulty equipment, she was surprised, not by his fame, but by how human he seemed. He spent hours helping fix the problem and even stayed to read to the children. Emily noticed how his tough, corporate demeanor softened whenever he interacted with them. After that day, Miles began returning to Willow Creek, at first, under the pretense of company follow-ups. But slowly, it became clear that it wasn't the business that brought him back. It was Emily. She grounded him in a way no one ever had. They took long walks near the lake, visited the local farmers market, and sometimes just sat under the old oak tree behind her school, talking about life. She told him about losing her parents, about how teaching gave her purpose. He told her about the weight of expectations, about how success could sometimes feel like a cage. They came from two different worlds, but in each other, they found something familiar: sincerity. Miles started sponsoring scholarships for the students in Willow Creek, building a new library, and even opening a small tech lab so the children could learn computer skills. But Emily was clear: don't do it for me. Do it for them. That honesty was what he admired most. One day, a storm hit the town, damaging several homes, including Emily's small cottage. Miles was there within hours, helping volunteers clear debris and provide aid. Emily saw him carrying boxes, drenched in rain, with no bodyguards or assistants in sight. That was the moment she realized that beneath his wealth and power, he was just a man trying to do the right thing. The bond they shared grew naturally. There were no grand gestures or lavish dates, just quiet dinners, laughter over burnt pancakes, and shared dreams about what a good life meant. Months later, when Miles invited Emily to speak at a charity event in New York, she hesitated. She wasn't comfortable with the cameras or the spotlight. But he told her, they need to hear from someone real, someone who reminds people what it means to care. Her speech moved the crowd to tears. She spoke about kindness, community, and the importance of helping others without expecting anything in return. Reporters called it the heart of the event, but Miles only saw her, the woman who had taught him more about humanity than any business school ever could. Their love wasn't about luxury. It was about balance, her simplicity and his ambition, her heart and his mind. When he eventually asked her to move to New York, she smiled and said, only if there's room for Willow Creek in your heart. So, he made sure there was. Miles opened an education foundation in her parents' name and spent half his time in Willow Creek. Together, they built something greater than wealth, they built hope. Years later, their story became an inspiration. Emily continued to teach, and Miles continued to lead, but they did it side by side. They showed that love doesn't always come from similar worlds, sometimes, it blooms when two different ones collide in the most unexpected way. And every morning, as the sun rose over Willow Creek, Emily would look out her classroom window and smile, grateful for the twist of fate that brought a billionaire into her little corner of the world and reminded her that true wealth lies in love, compassion, and community.